Ladies and gentlemen, Buddy Pass Podcast, episode 19, per usual, brought to you by the Masshole Perspective. But for now, it's Buddy Pass. And now I'm alongside Brett Tibbetts and Andy Crowley with myself, Chris Rafferty. And I'm here. And so are the boys.
We
How are you?
are.
How are you, fellas?
Feeling good today too. Just submitted my last final today, so
Hey,
officially
snaps to the boys.
Yep.
Snaps to the
Officially,
boys. Snaps
I know
to the
you
boys.
guys finished last night, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so officially
I-
seniors.
Shut up.
that's wild, dude.
So I yelled at my mom the other day for using the S word.
Vibes.
Don't
Sewers,
Oh, sex.
my slime.
That starts with an M.
It depends where you put it.
Okay. Yep.
So
Yeah, it's
I
weird,
yelled
boys.
at my mom for saying the word seniors. Call me pathetic, but I couldn't stand it.
I don't
No,
even
it's-
think my mom said anything about it because I just told her like an hour ago that like I'm done, finished my last final. I don't even think she said the S word.
She was like, "You're still in school? I'm still paying for this."
He's like, why you still live here? What? It's
I
weird.
thought you were on campus.
It's like weird, dude, because like I have a sister and she's like when I'm a junior, she's a junior in high school. So it's like weird to me too, because I remember like looking back, like I vividly remember like junior and senior year just because like that wasn't that long ago. And my brain was still working by then. So like I'm just like looking back and I remember like going into senior year of high school and now we're about to be seniors in college. This is like
Shut up! What did I just
So-
say?
suck me, dude.
Stop.
This is a sentimental moment and our
Stop.
fans are gonna be here for it.
No,
We're gonna get
I'm all for
emotional sad.
I'm all for sentimental, but stop saying the S word. I lost a whole year of my
I-
life in this past year. I don't want to think about it yet.
When
I will
I-
embrace it, but not
I don't even
now.
remember. I don't even remember applying to this school. I think I just showed up one day and I woke up in a room next to Aiden. Like, oh, okay.
I went to shake your hand. You went to dap me up.
that
and
was
the rest
culture
was
shock.
history.
That's
I
the
know.
first culture shock I had at college. It's like, I'm from Weymouth and I feel like it's usual the crispy daps. Just something casual. And you went in for the handshake. I was like, oh,
I'm from good old New Hampshire. Live free or die, where I shake people's hands.
hail Billy Vale.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
So anyway, when I announced this episode on the Instagram, I'm gonna tell people to congratulate specifically Aiden on making it to S word year.
What's up, little senior boy?
I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Senior boy, class of what? Class of 2020. What boy? Oh, that's this year, huh? Yeah. You guys
Shout
do
out to
anything?
Instagram followers too. We're at 500
Yeah.
the
500,
other
yeah,
day.
yeah.
We
Shout out
had
all you
four-
guys.
We went from 400 to 500 in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Something
pretty
crazy like
quick.
that. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but if my math pursues, I think we're going to be at 1 million and like at least by the end of the summer.
We're almost halfway there.
We're almost halfway to halfway of the halfway point of 1 million. So,
About that, yeah.
life's
Yeah.
about halfways.
It's all
Yo.
about perspective.
Yeah.
Did you know if the
Asshole.
if the whole world did a rock paper scissors
Mm-hmm.
tournament, it would only take like 32 rounds before there's a winner.
How?
Like if you keep dividing seven, because half the people are eliminated each time. So if you keep dividing 7 million in half, you only do it 32 times.
the
before you get
degrees
a
of
winner.
freedom. The degrees
Yeah.
of
Little
freedom.
fun fact.
You know what? Fuck live free or die. I want my degrees of freedom on a platter for me. That's a fact. Shout out to the stat guys. You guys do anything though? Like anything interesting before we get into some little hot shit teams?
I actually have a quick story.
Oh.
It's kind of a part 2 to a story that I told a few weeks ago. Do you guys remember it was a Planet Fitness story about a guy who was creepily staring at girls, and
For some
like,
reason, I had a feeling it was going to be this one.
I made sure to make
Yeah.
eye contact.
You
with him
told
and
it
he
on the
knew.
pod, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
told
did.
it
Yeah.
in one of these intro sessions. So I haven't seen him. I don't even remember what episode that was. I think
That
it
was like 10 or something like that.
Yeah,
it
it
was,
was
a long time
honestly
ago.
definitely
Yeah.
a double digit episode.
Yeah.
So hadn't seen him since. It's been like a month and a half or so. Haven't seen
Yeah.
him. Saw him this morning. Saw him today.
Mm.
I was working out.
Was he looking good?
No,
Oh.
he was wearing a tank top this time though. He's got a full sleeve. His name. So
So were you?
I,
You were rocking a tank top.
I was rocking a tank top.
Yeah.
I don't have a full sleeve though.
Hypocrite.
So
Because you cut him off.
So, just working out, doing my thing, and he's there. And lo and behold, there's a girl not far from him that he's just staring at. And I was like, we're gonna fucking do this again. I'm gonna talk to you. So watching him stare at this girl, I didn't end up talking to him. Watched him stare
That'd
at
be
this
fire.
girl, and then she walks away. He walks away. He goes to another machine. Watches an older woman on the stairmaster just posted up behind her, just staring
Jesus
at her.
Christ.
So at this point, I ran into my old buddy who still works at Planet Fitness that I used to work with, and I told him about it, and he was like, I'll talk to the boss. We'll see if we can talk to him. Boss didn't want to talk to him because he's a wuss. So I'm done with my workout. I go into the locker
Mhm.
room, and I was going to stand by for those of you who don't know, I'm training to be a bodybuilder. So I was going to stand at the mirror,
Right.
just kind of look at myself and see how I'm doing. And of course, he's there. He's standing at that mirror in the locker room, just kind of putting his stuff away. So I'm like, fucking whatever. So I went and put my stuff up next to him, and I start, doing a little practicing posing a little bit. And he's like, he kind of looks at me, and I had my music in. So I was like, what the fuck do you want, dude? He's like, you look like a wrestler.
You look like a pedophile.
Thanks. I go to put it back in. He's like, you look good. You look like you could beat someone up. And I was like, if you stare at another girl, I might.
Looking at my ass now, bud? How's it looking?
No. So, and he just was like, you got to eat. He's like, you look like, if you get any bigger, you're not going to look like a wrestler. And I was like, well, I'm training to compete on stage. He's like, oh yeah. Me and this guy, his name is Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space shot?
Crazy.
Space shot.
We talked about bodybuilding and food and working out for like 10 to 15 minutes.
Jesus, dude.
Whoa.
So what's
It
your
Was
thoughts on
it
that?
a situation where like you couldn't like get out of there really, or like was it
A
actually
little-
a good conversation?
I mean, a little bit. There were parts where I was like, all right, like that would have been
Yeah.
a great time to end the conversation because I
Yeah.
don't really want to talk to you. But it wasn't like a forced conversation. It was like, all right. It was like, it was a legit conversation. He had legit things to say.
That's the worst though, dude. Like if a serial killer came up to me and talked about Chell, I think I'd be all in for that conversation.
Yeah, that's the
But
thing. I was like,
you know what I mean?
I want to hate you, and I
Yeah.
do,
Yeah.
but
This is a good conversation.
you're being kind of
Yeah.
nice right now.
You're like, God damn, you
yeah.
sneaky motherfucker.
So I know that was a little bit of a long story, but a noteworthy end to that saga. So
Can't wait for the sequels.
that was a sequel.
Oh, you wrapped it up?
Yeah.
Fucking right.
I
That's
think
how you do it.
That's probably
Don't
it.
start it. Don't start a business. You finish it. What about you, Brett? You do anything heroic?
Definitely not heroic, no.
Anything in that at all?
No, I mean I was working on finals most of the weekend getting them done with. So
Yeah,
um,
to all the listeners, you guys don't have to listen to us complain about school anymore because I know
Yeah.
that's what you hate the most. Is when
we didn't
talk
do that
about
as
school.
much though.
We should
the
have-
last few
Yeah, no, I
weeks or
know.
months.
Maybe some
But
beers.
yeah.
Some beers. Just talk about beers for the next like 3 months straight. I had a tweet because I was doing the same thing, Brett, like grinding away at finals, and I sent a tweet out because oh my god, I need to tell people about this. So as everyone knows, I'm the nut allergy kid. I'm not one of those freaks that are airborne, and I can say that because I'm in that community. So we had a little allergy scare. Accidentally.
Oh, that's
I won't say like how it happened or anything. But we ate a little bit of nuts by accident, and not peanuts for all you sick fucks out there. We got it down though, like no death, no ER, and I'm bugging because I have to study for the biggest final of my life the next day when this happened. So I'm like, this can't be happening right now. We got it done, and then I'm chilling the next day, and I'm low key kind of like, dude, I haven't seen my boys in like 2 weeks. Is this whole final bullshit? Like grinding projects, I'm studying, like this is bullshit. I sent out a tweet. I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen my fellas and had any beers with them in about 2 weeks. It's finals wave. And then I was like, but last night I accidentally had my first ever allergic reaction to nuts. And I'm like, you know what? If that's not a wake up call, I don't know what is. I need to go out. I need to go out and see my boys and have a couple stews and really just, Michael Jordan it. Say, I'm back, baby. I'm fucking back. So for all you fellas out there listening, I'm back.
This is their sign to go have a drink. Is what you're trying to say?
I know
That's
they,
what I
they,
thought he was
they
getting
keep they keep hitting me up like they were going out and they're telling me to come out. I'm like, dude, I can't, student podcaster vibes. So now I get to just be like, I'm
Grueling
back.
schedule of a student podcast.
Yeah.
Eh?
And I have I'm doing a men's league team, or it's like a summer
Oh,
league
yeah.
team.
Didn't you have your first game last night or a few nights
tomorrow?
ago?
It's tomorrow.
Oh,
It's tomorrow.
jeez.
So
I had it backwards.
you were close. You were close. So
Yeah.
you went, two steps back, one forward. But yeah, so
Yep.
maybe there'll be a little segment at the end of the episode where I could talk about that a little bit. Get some geek out stories in there. Be cool if we can interview some of the kids. Like some of the kids were playing like Gouldy. If you guys again haven't checked out that interview of Gouldy, go peep that. I'll be getting a lot of the behind the scenes action with him, playing in this league, and some other kids that have some cool stories. Just a interesting, unique group of guys that are going to be playing here. So that'd be pretty cool if you get some content out of that. But
if I come down to Weymouth, can I wear your away jersey in the stands?
we're wearing our old high school alternate jerseys that we paid for. And we
Is it the one you had hung up in your room freshman year? Those are fire.
those are so dirty. We're wearing those because like we already paid for them. Like why not save the money?
Yeah, those are fresh.
They're kind of style drip, no big deal. But we'll
with your yellow Bucky.
Oh, I'm yellow Bucky in it. Yeah.
Oh god.
Everywhere else on the planet, this is the grossest style ever. But like in Weymouth, it's just like it's our colors.
Please no cage though. Put a visor.
I was gonna say,
No,
did you
I
take
wanna.
the cage
I
off
think
though?
no, I don't have.
No,
a
no
visor.
visor either. Just
I'm
Well,
gonna
no,
I'm
you've
gonna go.
gotta-
I'm gonna go for the Pasternak look, but
You got to
Ooh.
protect
Yeah.
yourself.
yeah, no, I'm playing.
Yeah, especially with the eyes. Everyone knows how my eyes are. We gotta
That's
lock
true.
these babies
your,
up.
Your eyes are delicate.
I think low-key a visor's like not the cheapest thing ever. So I need to save a
Really?
little bit up, and then I was gonna buy one. But then again, I was like, Visy on the yellow Bucky, no shot. So I'll probably get a new, get a whole
like
new,
a used Bucky or something.
Yeah, I want to get a Yofa. I should hit up Timu Solana and be like, "You got that Yofa, bud?" But yeah, so be updated for that. That's
Cool.
Half's corner. Yeah, cool. Lit. Stories to come.
The hot seat teams.
Hot seat
Yeah.
teams. I'm gonna be honest. I forgot mine from last week. So you guys,
Yeah.
have a tiebreaker, and I think this is
So
the storyline here.
we did. Me and AIDS both picked Arizona, who went 1-2-1 this week.
Yeah, they did not do well.
They're not making
their one win was against Vegas though, somehow, but they lost to LA and San Jose in regulation. Word. So anyway, they're pretty much eliminated from playoffs now.
Yeah.
And so me and AIDS did a little tiebreaker on Jacob Chikrin. Chitrin. Over under 3.5 points. I took the over. AIDS took the under, and he got 2, I believe. Yes. So AIDS took the dub on that.
2-0, baby.
But in reality, we both took the L on the Arizona pick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're a player guy though.
Hey,
well, no,
we went over this the week before too, though. My hot seat player is good, but when I'm picking a player for the tiebreaker, that's different than my hot seat player.
Yeah,
but I will say my hot seat player this week did absolutely awful. Darcy Kemper, 0-3, beauty. Or no, 0-2-1, I think, really.
So you should just shut up then.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
Just stop.
I think what we should have you do, Brett, is pick a team and a player from who the Boston Bruins are playing for the playoffs and just fuck them over.
Still historically though, my players more often than not do pretty well. It was just this week, and then I've had like 1 or 2 others in the past not do so well.
You go ahead.
I just wanted to know what
turns flaming me. Go ahead.
What I just no before we like obviously do the hot seat teams at the very end, to see if we picked the same team again. What division is your team in?
That same one actually, West.
Okay, mine is also in the West. So
wait, mine's in the West too.
Come on, no way.
At the end. Dude, if we all picked the same one, that'd be nuts. All right.
All right.
I think I definitely is.
Raph, you genuinely forgot yours this week, but if it comes back to you midway through that, maybe
yeah, I'll plug him
out real quick. But if not, who cares?
Fuck them. I know they were in that division. I just don't remember who it was.
I know.
Fucking whatever.
I know.
Fuck St. Louis. Fuck Vegas.
Speaking of Fuck Tom Wilson.
We're gonna get into that. Should we start off this?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking right.
So
I want to go last.
So right now, I'll kind of just explain the situation. Right now, we're recording this on Tuesday, so this was last night. Monday night, Tom Wilson, Capitals versus Rangers. Wilson, out of body experience, play after the whistle. He basically, there's big scrum in front of the net, typical, whistle's blown, plays dead, and Buchnevich, at the beginning of the play, Wilson kind of did two things here. The first one was beginning of the play, sort of by the post. I'm not sure how Buchnevich fell, but he got knocked down somehow, and he was going to the ice and was kind of tied up with Tom Wilson, and Wilson kind of started to go down with him, but was almost on top of him, and ends up just kind of hitting him in the face when Buchnevich's face is like inches from the ice, just hits his head down. And then the scrum gets even bigger. Pretty much all 10 guys on the ice are in it. I think the 10 might have been in there too. And it like carries over to the boards. And at one point, Wilson gets a hold of Artemi Panarin, who eventually loses his helmet. I couldn't really see in the video if like Wilson ripped it off or if it just popped off. Doesn't matter. Either way, Panarin's helmet comes off and Wilson sort of drags him out of the scrum and basically just pulls him across his body and slams him to the ice like that. And then even once he's down, Wilson still has a hold on him and sort of just like doesn't drag him, but he like is like shoving on him while he's down. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, he was just like, clearly intending to hurt the guy. Like it was, but anyway, Wilson ends up only getting fined $5,000 for the entire play. And that was specifically on the Buchnevich part. He faced no disciplinary action for what he did to Panarin.
So now let's go into all of our opinions. Who wants to start first? Who wants to start us off?
Aiden, do you want to go first? I know you said you had.
I can start. So the word, Brett, the word that I would use to describe his actions against Panarin, he ragdolled him. That is the word that I would use. He ragdolled Artemi Panarin, throwing him around, Yeah, big, strong dude, 6'4", 220, like ragdolled Panarin.
Panarin's also confirmed out for the season. Sorry, you're about to say that.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if it's related. I think it said it was a lower body injury.
Yeah, which is weird.
It is.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it had something to do with that. But anyway, so Wilson not getting sussied on this, I think, is ridiculous. I think it's unbelievable that given his track record, given what he did earlier this season against Brandon Carlo and got 7 games for that, the fact that he was only fined in this instance, I think he should have at least gotten at least 3 games. Here's why. So I have a list of his offenses over the last couple of years. And I have never, obviously Wilson's been in the league for now 6 years, 7 years, whatever. Never seen him like this before. I know we were talking about it last night with Bobby, shout out Bob,
who's a Caps fan,
who's a huge Caps fan.
He's our Caps insider.
And even he wasn't defending Wilson, right?
No, he was like,
bro, Wilson's got to chill. Like even Caps fans here are like, okay, sorry, continue.
Yeah. So obviously Wilson's had a run-in with the law in Department of Player Safety pretty much his entire career. I have never seen him go apeshit like this before. Never. He was out for blood last night against Panarin and Buchnevich. So here's a shortened list of some of his offenses and why I think it's ridiculous that he was not suspended. In 2018, the year they won the Cup, in the playoffs alone, there were 4 incidents that could have resulted in, what's the word? Supplementary
disciplinary.
Yeah. He was only suspended. He was suspended 3 games. I think it was the second round for a hit on Zach Aston-Reese, broke his jaw, head primary contact, brutal. The other ones, dummied Dumoulin in that series, who went to avoid. The argument was he went to avoid a check from Ovechkin, and Wilson crunched him from behind. A hit to the head on Wenberg in the first series, which the Department of Player Safety couldn't determine if the head was the principal point of contact, so they didn't give him anything. And then the last one was in the finals. He blindsided Marchessault 2 seconds after he released the puck. Center ice. Blindside. 2017, his preseason hit against Sundqvist. 20 game suspension.
Ooh, that one I definitely
20 game suspension.
Vividly.
Year before that, fined for a knee-on-knee on Sheary. 2015, hit to the head on Curtis Lazar, received a game for that.
Curtis Lazar, Boston Bruin, how are you? Sorry.
Yep. And that's a short list. There are 3 other incidents where he could have been suspended, but didn't. And there are a few more where he was. A lot of the comments that I'm seeing online is like, the game is getting soft. The game, there's too many suspensions, blah, blah, blah. I partially agree with that. I want to keep the sanctity of hockey. I want to see big hits. I want to see fights. I think it's a crucial part of the game. And I'm very pleased with the league this year with how many fights there have been. I love that side. I don't think we've seen this many fights in a season in like 3 or 4 years. It's like per like an average in games played. Like, I don't think we've seen this many in at least 4 years, which I love. And I love that side of the game. But I do think that there is a growing need to protect players. And the fact that Wilson, given his track record and given his actions last night and what he did and how he did it, which I think is completely different than anything else he's ever done. He was fined $5,000 and given no suspensions. I think that's crazy.
Yeah. You know what else got a $5,000 fine was McKinnon throwing the helmet back to I don't remember who it was.
Connor Garland.
That's equivalent to what Tom Wilson did.
And McDavid high sticked, butt ended someone in the face too. Got $5,000.
Oh, was that the Kotkaniemi one or no?
Oh, it might have been. Yeah.
A month ago, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's. I assume you were kind of done with your point there, but basically you kind of touched upon it at the end. Like, the NHL needs enforcers 1000%. We're not saying they should take that out of the game, but like, there's a way, and there are plenty of examples of guys who can play as enforcers and be just as intimidating as a guy as Tom Wilson, but do it cleanly 99% of the time.
The one thing that I meant to add in regard to everything that I just listed, if you go and look at every incident that Wilson has had, whether he was suspended, given supplementary discipline, or even, maybe it was considered, but then they decided not to. I watched a 10-minute YouTube clip about an hour ago of Tom Wilson and his dirty hits like this. Every single one, you're fight me on it if you will. It looked like there was intent to injure every single time. It wasn't like a part of the play. It wasn't like a freak accident. He runs people with no regard for the puck.
Yeah.
And I think that has no place in the game. Again, I'm all about preserving the sanctity of the game and the physicality and the fights. Keep it. Big hits need to happen. But the way in which Tom Wilson goes about it, I think, is overly aggressive and completely unnecessary.
One of the ways I thought about it, sorry, Raph, I don't know if you're about to talk there, but this will be quick. It was just like one of the things that sort of came into my head last night when this all first happened and I was watching it and stuff is like, the way I look at it is when a player gets suspended for doing something, the point of that is for them to come back and not do it again. Like, that's the point of punishing people, is so that they understand, like, when I go back to play, I can't do this again. that just clearly does not work for him.
He was given 20 games.
Suspending him for 3 games, 7 games, 20 games. Clearly, he does not give a shit. He is going to come back and do it again. He does not care. And like, that's no, sorry. It's just I was trying to figure out a way to word it, but like, I get that, you know, enforcers to an extent, aren't going to care about that, I guess, in a way. But like, when he's not caring about the way he injures people, or like the amount he could injure someone, if that makes sense. I couldn't think of the terminology to use there. Like, that's crossing the line to me. But you can go. I know you're about to say.
I just, Raph, before you jump in, because I want to hear what you have to say about it. There was a point in his career, you know, the last year and a half or so, where he really cleaned up his game. He was a goal producing machine on the Caps. You know, I don't know the specific number. I know he most likely had near 25 a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And I love that.
A pretty skilled player.
He is such a good player. He's so good. He's so big. He's like a perfect hockey player.
He's built to be a perfect hockey player.
Except for this. And it's this part of his game that no matter what, he cannot shake it. And I don't know if the wires are just crossing his head, but he's got everything there. And if he could eliminate this dirty side of his game, he's a perfect hockey player. But until he does that, this is what his career is going to be known for.
Yeah. Just hopping in here, I think.
Please.
I've been like indulged. No, dude, I love it. Like... My boys were buzzing, and I was just like, I'm taking it all in. I'm the audience now.
I'm so fired up about this because I feel very strongly.
I mean, this is half the reason we do a podcast. We can have conversations like this and, you know, really just talk. But I agree with basically everything you guys are saying. I think, you know, especially when he goes back into the box after, he's flexing on them, you know, with his jersey off. And I'm like, dude, you know what, too? I love theatrics. I love when Matthews looks at Scott Sabern and, you know, it's like, who the fuck are you? And like, I love those theatrics of like, I love the instigating, the pissing people off, disrespecting people, you know, with chirps and just everything. But like in a situation like that, where it's kind of like, if I'm on the other side, or if I'm you know, watching this game as an NHL player who's not on the ice, I'm kind of like, dude, what is this fucking guy doing? This guy's a clown. And it's like, dude, fucking put people through the boards. Punch someone right in the nose.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I love fights, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to see fights every game.
I'm cool with you having that mentality of, if I'm going to hit someone, I'm going to put them through the wall. I'm going to hurt them. But that's not saying a leg check. That's something different. Or like, you know, I'm not going to
hit from behind.
A hit from behind, or I'm not going to.
Not that, yeah.
I'm not going to throw somebody onto the ice that doesn't have a helmet. There's people that literally knock people out and catch them before they fall with their helmets off because they don't want them to hit their head. You're telling me Tom Wilson is such a scumbag? He doesn't care if someone smashes their head off the ice. That's just ballistic to me. And I honestly think this guy's just a dirtball scumbag. You know, his wires are completely crossed, and that's it. Like you guys said, any GM, any person that has a favorite NHL team would love this guy on their team. Same with Marchand. Same with guys like that, where you would love for this guy to be on your team. But the thing holding him back is this just not learning. You know what? I want, if I have a guy like that, I want him to be playing. I don't want to pay you this money to be suspended. I had that issue with Marchand years ago when he kept doing all this bullshit where it's like, dude, we need you in the lineup. I want you to go out there and make people afraid to be on the ice when you're touching that ice. Make sure people don't feel like they have time and space, because you're that force. You're that X factor that makes people nervous. And when people are nervous, they fumble fuck the puck, and your team is going to win and put pressure on. But if you're not playing due to a suspension from something like this that could have easily been avoided, the Capitals are going to beat the fucking Rangers. This isn't even a playoff atmosphere right now in this game like that. We need you to be playing. We need you to be ready with getting reps, and not all this fucking controversy around the team going into playoffs, which could be their window is closing, and you need a run this year. If I'm a Caps fan, you need a run. That window is closing quick. especially with Ovi's contract up. Who knows the future? Backstrom isn't getting younger. I'm still not sold on Samsonov yet. That D-core doesn't really look amazing. You got John Carlson. But besides
Kuznetsov
that,
seems to have some attitude issues going on off the ice. But
you just got whatever Verana. Who knows how Mantha turns out? Verana's doing amazing. So if I need Tom Wilson in my lineup. He's so lucky he got a fine, and I don't understand it, because when you look at it, there's a rules. You give him this if this happened to this degree. If you're gonna say that a $5,000 fine is equivalent in terms of throwing a helmet at a player, exhibit Nathan McKinnon throwing a helmet at Connor Garland, to basically ragdolling two guys, punching a guy in the head when he's on the ice, grabbing another guy out of a scrum, body slamming him to the ice when he doesn't have a helmet on. I don't get it, man.
It looked like it belonged in a WWE ring.
And I'm gonna say too that I think all those psycho fans online that are on one side of the spectrum defending Tom Wilson, saying that this belongs in hockey, not to this degree, it doesn't. No shot. And then the other side of the argument where people are like, give him a Rafi Torres like suspension, like 30 games. Let's grow up here a little bit, dude. Let's put our big boy pants on and realize this is the sport, and this is what happens. And I'm not going to say it's okay, but it happens, and then you go forward. I would say 3 to 5 would be okay. 3 to 5 I would take from that. But I think a suspension should have been given. But what the fuck do I know?
I do just want to make one really quick point here. I know you were about to say something to AIDS, but when you brought up Brad Marchand, I was also going to bring him up too. Obviously Marchand had plenty of disciplinary issues in the beginning of his career. List goes on. He's been suspended before, correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say,
Borowiecki when
Borowiecki or whatever.
Borowiecki, he clipped his knees and fucked the guy up. The Borowiecki. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But yeah, so I was basically just going to say, obviously Marchand had issues galore with disciplinary stuff and things like that in the beginning of his career. But he was suspended for it. He was punished for it. He was told, you can't be this guy for us. You're a talented player. You got to be that guy for us. And now look at him in Hart talks, in Selke talks.
2 years.
One of the best players in the league,
2 years?
Because he cleaned up his act. Tom Wilson never learned that lesson. Never did, never will, or hasn't yet. But what were you just looking at? Wait, what?
Randy's barking.
Oh, I didn't hear
Randy. I hear Randy.
I didn't even hear it. I was like, why is he muted?
I muted myself.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, but I didn't even hear when it first happened, and then I just saw he was muted, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the lesson that I'm just using Marchand for an example. There are plenty of other guys, but the lesson that he learned in that situation earlier on in his career is something that Wilson never learned, and doesn't seem like he's ever going to.
So I was going to reiterate, because Raph, you made a really good point about Marchand. Marchand is the perfect example in this situation of what to do, right? This is a perfect example of the disciplinary system working how it's supposed to work. Marchand fucking got fined, got suspended for a number of years. And like you said, Hart talks, Selke talks. He's having one of the best years he's had as a Bruin to date.
The best.
Wilson, you would think a 20-game suspension would be enough to be like, oh, all right, I gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that'd be enough. You would think missing a fourth of your year, 25% of the games that you're supposed to play, you're sitting because you fucking took someone's head off. You'd think you'd be like, I should probably stop.
Not worth it.
It's not worth it. Because that's a perfect point, Raph, when you were saying anyone would love to have him. Personally, if he didn't have any disciplinary issues, perfect Boston Bruin. He'd be perfect.
I'd love
perfect for so many teams, dude.
But the fact that he does this, I do not want him in my locker room. I don't care how good he is when he's not suspended. I don't want him. I don't.
And you know what? I bet he's even a great teammate. I bet
sure
the boys
he
in
is.
that locker room fucking love him. I bet he crushes beers and snaps around amazing stories. But
it's just
you need to be there. And if I'm his liney or something like that, I'm like, dude, you're not only fucking yourself, you're fucking us.
Yeah.
All of us,
Because
yeah.
now another guy has to come up and another guy has to fill a spot. And who knows if the line chemistry is not there, if the line's not producing, we need you. We need you in this lineup because you are that good. You're not some scrub that just goes around collecting knees and puts them on our shelves. You need to be in the lineup. You're a good fucking player. It's honestly too like with the Marshawn thing. I think Marshawn figured it out. I think he grew up a little bit.
He did.
The immaturity, and he realized
1000%.
I need to set it back. I'm gonna let my game do the talking.
Yes.
Tom Wilson, you need to fucking grow up, dude.
But Marshawn is still able to go out there and intimidate people and be that pest in people's sides without being dirty, without getting suspended.
He knows the line.
And
he knows the line.
Yeah.
Wilson doesn't see it.
Yeah.
Wilson doesn't know there's a fucking line. And
I don't know. I feel like he knows it. I feel like he just doesn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
I don't think he cares. I really don't think he cares.
No, I don't think he does either. And it's disrespectful. Like the thing last night where he was in the box.
Yeah, you're a clown, dude.
If he came up and said he was like, dude, here's a jersey, I signed it for you, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. Go
suck me. I'm gonna say fuck you and go stream Buddy Pass podcast, pussy.
I don't want anything to do with you.
Like I'd call Tom Wilson a pussy to his face. No shot.
Oh my God.
I'd probably take that jersey and be like, thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
But
so
no, dude, I just feel like he needs to figure it out and just like figure it out, man.
I know. I just to wrap it up, I
know you're getting...
It should. I personally, I think we're all in agreement. It should have been a sussy. It should have been
5. The people that were saying Rafi Torres like suspension.
No.
Like, okay, let's relax here. Let's figure it. You guys now need to figure it out. Everyone needs to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some moving away from Tom Wilson. We got some American boys to talk about today, some younger ones and some older ones. But we will start with Cole Caufield, who's having quite the start to his NHL career. Wouldn't expect nothing less, but I mean, 2 goals, both overtime winners. Pretty exciting. Back-to-back games too, I think. His first game. What was that?
I was just gonna say back-to-back from Petrie both times.
Yeah, true. They were both
Jeff.
Petrie too.
With the primary on both
Petrie.
goals.
A little Petrie dish over to Caufield. That was. I have to admit that wasn't me. I saw that on Twitter.
And the pod
sorry.
right now.
I gotta give the credit. That was from not Danny Heatley on Twitter. But fuck. Wait, now I lost my train of thought.
Cloud chaser.
But shit. Oh yeah, his first game didn't have any points. But I mean, I watched the first 2 periods of it, and he looked pretty good. And then comes out, gets one against the Senators in overtime, and then one against the Leafs, which was a snipe posting in. I'm so excited for his career, dude.
I haven't watched any of his pro games yet. But dude, watching some of his college games,
yeah.
He scored 30 and 31 or 31 and 30 this past year. Dude.
Yeah.
His size, his speed, and his shot. Dude, he's so scary. He's so scary.
His first goal, the one against the Senators in overtime. I don't know if you guys watched it or not, but the way it was scored was Petrie had the puck along the boards. He was just like working on the boards. He had a guy on him, and Caufield was kind of up near the blue line because like the puck had just entered the zone, and Caufield's inching in, like not really like skating super fast, just like gliding into the zone, and he's behind Tim Stützle. Tim Stützle has his back to Caufield, and Caufield sees that Stützle's not looking at him, and just bolts to the net. Like nobody even saw him.
It was a good hockey play.
Next thing they know, the puck's in the net, and that's just like, I feel like that's him in his nutshell. That awareness that he has to get to a spot where he can score a goal is like, he's just already so good at an NHL level.
That's how they think. If you're a goal scorer, you're gonna think like that.
Yeah, if you're a goal scorer, you're gonna see that opportunity, and
There's 2 things.
You're gonna finish on it.
2 things I love about him is that one, that Selly and that smile, and he scores, man. I love. That's a guy I want on my team, just because I know how he has that like Ovi kind of feel, where it's like he loves to score. 500 goals later, he's gonna be selling the same exact way, and I'm gonna love every one of those little stupid smiles he has on.
He does like the one leg like
yeah,
that.
it's gonna be so fun. And two, man, I bet he's a fun guy to just go out and crush some beers with, dude.
Oh my God.
Like he just seems like such a beauty, like just so down for like the fellas, you know what I mean? Just always going on, wants to see what's going on. Yeah, I just love it. And I also noticed one thing too is how when he shoots that puck, his bottom hand slides up like a lot
Really?
closer than like the way he like
Huh.
shoots it is, he doesn't quite do the Austin Matthews things, but like I feel like that's how he gets just so much like torque and velocity on is how he slides that bottom hand up and then he just lets her rip.
I mean, his stick's basically a knee hockey stick, so it's kind of hard to spread out your hands.
Craziest torque of all time.
It's so technical now too, like the way to shoot a puck. It's not like just throwing it at the net. It's all about hand placement. It's all about hand movement. It's all about the twitch. You know, that was the strongest part of my game in like high school and stuff was my snapshot. You know, even now I just getting stronger. It's still pretty good. But that's what my dad always taught me. That's what coaches always said was it's that little twitch, you know, and he's got such an unbelievable shot.
Yeah.
Having a good quick release is becoming like
necessary.
One of the more and just like one of the most important things when like look at like if you're comparing guys, like one of the first things you're gonna look at nowadays is like that shot.
And if they can change that angle, that's so big now, dude. Changing the angle, but predicting it now. He's a 500 goal player. I'm putting my money on that.
Oh, in his career, as long as he stays healthy, dude, 100%. Oh, that was the other thing. I mean, obviously, him getting bundled is a worry for some people. But did you see? You might not have. I only saw it like once or twice in my Twitter feed, but he got like pretty much clobbered by the ref.
Yeah,
I think it might have been his second game. He was just like skating up the boards, like eye on the puck, like going after the puck, just wasn't looking, and just right into the ref, and he went down. I think the ref went down too, but like the caption was like Caufield's first
welcome to the show
in the NHL was it was by a ref. Welcome to the NHL.
I think it's so easy to get that tunnel vision too and not even notice that the ref's there because you're just like not really looking for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the way.
It wasn't even the ref's fault. He was like trying to move. He like saw him coming. He was like,
it wasn't like do you remember, was it Chris Wyman or the other Wyman years ago who bundled the ref? Dennis Wyman.
Yeah, dude.
And like cross checks the ref and he's just like, whatever.
That was like a big thing because he tried to say that it was like an accident and all this shit, and it just like clearly was not.
You assaulted this man. This is aggravated assault.
Talk about sussies and crossed wires.
Literally,
that was
when
fuck shit right there.
That was Dennis Weidman on the Flames. Yeah. Good old Dennis Weidman.
I think one end now. One end.
Former Bruin.
I think he's a one end guy.
He is. So is Guryanov. Isn't he a one end guy? Dennis with one end.
Oh yeah, he is.
I'm pretty sure Dennis Guryanov, the goat Dennis.
Dennis.
But
what about Ryan Miller? Want to talk about him a little bit?
Oh, I was gonna bring up Spencer Knight real quick. One other goalie. Younger goalie.
I like the American wave. Let's keep it going.
No, just a few American boys, 2 American tennies to be specific. But Spencer Knight, kind of out of nowhere to me. I did not think he was going to play a single game this year, and he's just going off. He's 4-0. I mean, granted, he has an insane team in front of him that is just playing unbelievable right now, scoring like crazy. So like, that was the other thing, like his save percentage in these 4 games. Spencer Knight is 4-0 for anyone listening in his first 4 career starts, the Panthers, and his save percentage is .919, which is good. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but like a little bit of it is probably on the Panthers scoring right now. A little bit. Like I know, were you about to say 2 of them were in overtime?
No, I was just gonna say, he's got a 2.32 goals against to make up for that a little bit.
Okay, yeah, and I'm pretty sure 2 of the wins were overtime. I think. I know the one. Maybe it was just one of them. At least one of them was. It was either 1 or 2. But I mean that doesn't really change much. I mean he held it down in overtime clearly, and those overtime wins. So at nothing older than 20 years and like 18 days or something like that. Fucking crazy. So I mean. But yeah, I remember the night he started his first game, I didn't even know he was like in their lineup until after the game. I saw on Twitter that he like won his debut. I was like, what?
Which
He
is so
played?
which is
I
so
had no
weird.
idea he was gonna play.
Cause like I don't think Bobrovsky or Driedger are hurt. Like
That's
I
what I'm.
don't
Yeah,
know.
dude. That's what I'm
Are they
saying.
just trying to like test the waters and see
I
if
think
Bob
they're
can't
in
get
a.
going?
I guess. I mean, it's like, you say it all the time with teams. Bruins are kind of in that situation right now where you have. It's probably the best hard decision is when you have 3 attendees that are capable of starting going into playoffs, and you got to figure out which one you want to roll with.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess right now I didn't expect it, but I guess Spencer Knight is in that mix for the Panthers.
Word guy.
He if he's the high hand going into playoffs, could end up being
Fucking
him. Who knows?
take it, dude.
I
Take
mean,
it.
You saw it with Bennington.
yeah.
I mean,
But I love it. I like Spencer Knight.
yeah, I was
Good
gonna
old
say, look at
American
him
boy.
now. Tomatoes, but yeah, dude, fundamentals, baby.
Maybe he'll break Ryan Miller's record as winningest
Or he
U.S.
could be
born goaltender of all time.
Or he could be the new Cam Ward, who as a rookie leads his team to a Stanley Cup.
Oh my
That
god.
too.
Cam
Oh,
Ward was
shit.
nice in the day. You put respect to my
Yeah,
my
no,
Hurricanes
I
history.
totally forgot about that. Holy shit.
Yeah, 06,
Yeah,
baby.
maybe he will.
The golden
Maybe he
days.
will.
It's only been almost 2 decades, but my boys are back.
Panthers are my pick right now, despite rooting for the Bruins. Of course, Panthers are my cup pick.
If of all the years, it's been since 2014 since I hopped on the bandwagon that is the Carolina Hurricanes, but they didn't really have a bandwagon because they barely had fans.
There was no wagon to band on.
Yeah, I think I was the wagon, and I told
it
people,
was
hey,
just
let's
you
go.
walking down
I
the
go,
street.
hey, let's hop on, fellas. Oregon Trail. This is the best year by far to be a Hurricanes fan in all my years.
No, I love them.
The good thing with them, though, it's always been like an upwards trend. They've never taken really a step back, small steps forward. But look at us now, boys.
Yeah.
Wilkins.
But anyway, mention Ryan Miller.
I'm fired up.
Little Hall of Fame. So to be clear, he announced he's retiring after this year, right?
This is the final stretch.
So because I remember I saw on Twitter like a few nights ago, I forget who they played against, but it was like Ryan Miller's last NHL game, they were saying.
At home.
Okay, that's what it was. That's the part
one.
I was like, how do they couldn't he start one of these last like 4 or 5? That's why
There's
I was
like 5 left.
I was
You're
like,
not making
what?
playoffs.
Yeah, so I was confused by that, but it was last home game. Okay, that makes more sense.
So the question to be posed is Ryan Miller, American goaltender, going to be or have a chance at the Hall of Fame of hockey?
What do you think, Raph?
Man, I honestly I think he has a pretty solid chance. I mean, he's number 1 in wins by an American goaltender, 391, and that is not easy to do. That's a lot of wins. He's above the likes of I always fuck up his name. Mike Richter. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Not a word guy.
Not the word guy.
Bergeron.
Patrick Bergeron. Yeah, I mean, above that guy in wins all time as American goalies. I mean, he's number 1. He has a Vezina under his belt, 2010. Had a hell of an Olympics before that. The golden goal, Sidney Crosby. Homie Baker. I mean, he has hardware, not the most hardware, but the numbers look pretty solid. I think he's at like a 914 for a career save percentage with I think it's like a 926 for his goals against.
Let me fact check you. I have it pulled up.
And his goals against at the Olympics is like one of the best ever for goaltenders. I know it's the best American and then one of the best for all nations. Go ahead, Age. But I personally go ahead.
You said go ahead and then started talking.
Well, yeah, but then you sat there and stared at your phone for like 5 seconds. I was gonna throw a quick little
264 goals against, 914 save percentage.
Okay. I flipped
for his career.
6 in the 4
for his career, which I think a lot like those numbers are inflated a little bit because of the Ducks and the Canucks.
I'm looking more at the save percentage.
If you look
that save percentage is good for a career one.
Strictly at his numbers, like in Buffalo, there's no way he doesn't average a 9.3.
Yeah, It's crazy, dude. Him and Tom McVanick, I remember like growing up a Bruins fan, terrorized my childhood. Terrorized every Bruins game I watched like as a 9-year-old after.
It was Pominville, Jason
Oh my God,
Pominville.
I have
beauty, dude. I used to have the Pominville and Vanek like Young Guns cards, like hockey cards, dude.
They're
I don't know if they were Young Guns, but it was back like early on in their career.
I have you bringing up Vanek's name. I have like flashbacks to whenever the Bruins played the Sabres, and I'd watch it with my dad. He'd be like, it's Vanek, the Bruin killer. Every time I was like,
But dude, you want to talk about a guy who can shoot the fucking puck?
Yeah, I know.
Tom McVanick, that's how you shoot a fucking puck, Tom McVanick style. But yeah, I mean, I don't know about you boys, but you know what? I'm gonna say yeah. I think he gets in.
I'm definitely like on the border because of the lack of, hardware, I guess. I mean, he's got the Vezina, he's got like the silver medal from that 2010 year against Canada and all this stuff, but he doesn't have a cup, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't even sniffed it.
But I mean, so it's tough to like look past that. But when you're the winningest, whatever the term is,
most winning
goaltender in U.S. history, like that's not that it makes up for it, but dude, that's a pretty big freaking accomplishment. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what pushes him over the edge for me. Like I'm not confident that he'll make it, but like if I'm gonna go with my gut, I'm gonna just say hell yeah, we'll roll with Ryan Miller, Team Miller.
Yeah, if I got to like vote on it, I'd go with a yes. But it's definitely close. I'd put a lot of thought into it. He's not like a sure yes, but I think I'd decide on that.
I think I'm on your side, Brett, where I can see it going either way. I don't think it'll be anytime soon. I think it'll be a couple years before his name even pops up, in my opinion. But it's hard. It's hard to kind of gauge his whole career just based on the last, 6 years or so of his career, where he's been in Vancouver and Anaheim here. Obviously hasn't been the best. First few years in Anaheim were fine. They went to the second round a couple years, maybe a conference final. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it'll be a few years. I can't give you a yes or no. I don't want to say no, but at the same time, I don't want to say yes. I think you could make an argument going both ways. Being the all-time leader in wins as U.S. born goaltender, that helps you. Vezina helps you. He's got some other award, an AHL award. I don't know if that.
I think that's like basically the Vezina, but for the for the AHL. The Bastion or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So okay. So yeah, that helps too. I think you could make an argument going both ways. I think I would lean to yes. But you won't see him inducted for a number of years.
Not a first ballot type guy,
No.
Team Ryan Miller. Team Ryan Miller.
Whenever I think of like Ryan Miller is brought up, all I can think of is, I don't even remember how long ago exactly it was, but Milan Lucic just bundling him at the top of the
then he does that thing like he's getting like thrown around, so when he uses his momentum when he's getting like whiplash and just swing his stick at him, and it just looks like the biggest like bitch thing ever. He's like,
oh my god, we could see I just saw this morning, or like earlier today, shortly before this, we could see Lucic with the Seattle Kraken, because he had a no move clause, but he waived it with the intention of maybe being picked up by Seattle in the expansion draft.
That makes sense because he's from Vancouver.
That's what I was going to say.
Shit!
He's closer to home.
Yeah,
isn't like don't mad people.
Calgary's not too far.
Like just post up in Seattle, isn't that a thing?
I mean, yeah, it's literally
they
like
just post up. They're for the day. They just
each
like,
other.
yo,
but
vibes today.
I don't know why, because Vancouver looks like the most beautiful city ever, and Seattle's a bag of garbage.
I mean, it's
the Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle's known, I think, like Worcester, hashtag, shout out Worcester. I think it's turning around a little bit. There's a little bit of a renaissance going on, but for the longest time, it was known as kind of a city.
But I think it's got the whole like what's the term? Like, I mean, it's like it's surrounded by mountains, Seattle. So it's got like that whole vibe going for it.
So is Vancouver.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like for in terms of like that type of vibe, they're similar. Yeah. Basically, is what I'm getting at.
I just meant I don't know why you would leave Vancouver. Vancouver looks like one of the most beautiful places.
It does. Vancouver does look unreal.
Before we go into hot seat teams, I want to bring something up to you guys. So recently I've seen things of, just kind of ideas and sketches revolving around skates and these crossover hybrids of like the Jordan shoes. I'm not a Jordan shoe guy. I'm a Vans guy and a flops guy, but
skater boy
guys tried. But what do you guys think of these like hybrid, like Michael Jordan looking like skates? Dude, I fucking love them. I think I want to see Austin Matthews in some Jordan looking like skates. I want that in my life. I need to see that before I die.
So I think they're cool from like a novelty perspective.
Yes.
Like it'd be something you'd like have just to rock and like wear on the pond or something.
But dude, how sick.
Like no one's ever gonna wear those in a game.
Imagine Austin Matthews coming down and changing the angle on that off wing shot. He comes down off wing as a lefty. He's coming down.
There's no way they're like comfortable to wear though, dude.
No, if they're like safe, I'm just saying hypothetically, if they're safe to wear, they're the same exact thing.
Okay.
They look the same on the outside. I mean, they look different on the outside.
Hypothetically, if you put a Bauer skate on my left foot and that skate on my right foot, and I close my eyes and I cannot tell the difference, hypothetically, then that'd be pretty sick. But other than that, dude, I think they're cool from like a novelty perspective. Like I said, something you'd like rock on the pond.
I need a pair. Pair. That's my grad gift.
They look like my pink narwhal skates that I wear in gloves.
Yeah, that's what they remind me of, is like clubs, and that's why I love them.
Yeah, no.
So that's an argument that I kind of want to get into. Like, if you open that floodgate, if you allow those Jordan-esque skates into the NHL, like, does that kind of open up other skate designs?
Yeah.
I think Matthews, we saw, I can't remember what the actual thing was, but he had like a little personal design or something on a skate a couple weeks ago. So I do,
really cool.
I do think that they're slowly starting to incorporate a little bit of that in, but full blown Jordan style.
But dude,
it does not sit well with
that. Would bring in so many people, dude. But people would fucking eat that up, especially people that are like basketball fans who love that shit. There's a legitimate like community that like is all about knowing what players like, in the NBA, like what shoes they're rocking, like, all these different like color waves and styles and shit. I feel like if somebody saw Austin Matthews with a little mustache, his cool little style he's got going on, ripping some fucking popcorn hammers, wearing these like Jordan shoes for skates, people are gonna look at that and be like, I need to watch this sport.
So I just thought of this now. I think like even to the extent of like full blown like Jordan style skates and stuff, like things like that, I think they should be brought into the game, but for the 60 plus minutes that the game is going on, no. Wear them for warm-ups, wear them in like all-star games and skills competitions and things like that. Are like shown and worn, especially like in warm-up stuff. Yes, but like during the actual game, dude, like wear a real pair of skates. Like
I feel like it takes away. I talked about the sanctity of the game before. I think it just kind of makes it a little bit of a comical thing. I'm not a big like it works in basketball, but I think it should stay in basketball. I don't think that's a crossover that I could get down with.
I like that. It kind of shows some personality. I mean, I think it's a stretch, and I think it definitely would need to see what the feedback would be like an all-star game and skills and different things like that. But
I think
I'm not opposed to it. I think it'd be, for a guy that does like, I agree with you, Age, with all like the tradition in hockey. I don't know. This just kind of hits a little bit crazy for me. A little bit crazy.
I think warm-ups, I'm all for it. Wearing them warm-ups, I'm all for it. I will say that.
All-star game, I think, is yes. I think
that's a no-brainer, I'd say, or at least the skills competition. But warm-ups, dude, totally. I think that'd be cool. Because like you'll get, reporters will like record it and it'll be all over Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, how Pasta wore those shades at the Tahoe games and stuff, and it was all over Twitter. I mean, not to use an example of Pasta again, but how he was like mocking Krejci the other day in warm-ups. Like if something like cool or funny like that happens in warm-ups, it goes all over Twitter, all over Instagram.
Yeah.
So like Matthews goes out and rocks Jordan skates in warm-ups tonight, it's gonna be all over Twitter, even if he doesn't wear them in the game. So that I'm all for, yeah. But
well, topic for another
game time
day.
is game time.
Do you guys want to get into hot seat teams now?
I'm so
Yes,
I
which
want to
hopefully we
know.
don't.
I hope we all
Okay.
pick the same team. I hope we all pick the same
How about
team.
we want to say our team on 3?
It would work for us, but I don't think it would work for the listeners.
No, I think it would.
Yeah.
Even
right,
if it's just like a second. All right,
Let's
ready?
just do it.
Okay.
I'm a
Three-
countdown guy.
Are we
I'm the
doing?
countdown
Are we
guy.
You're
doing
countdown,
it
you're
on
countdown guy.
on
Oh, yeah, on
one
3?
or
No, oh yeah, wait.
I'm
like
I'm
3,
gonna
2, 1?
yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
yeah.
3, 2, 1, boom. Okay.
Mhm.
Are we saying, hold on, in the event that it is the same team, are we gonna say the city or are we gonna say the name of
The
the team?
team. The team.
I'm gonna say the
team.
mascot type thing. Like
Okay, the
team.
I'm gonna say
team.
the team name.
Okay,
Just
just
like
that.
no.
Okay. And if we all have the same one, I guess we're doing a 3-way
T- we're-
tie break here. But anyway. 3, 2, 1.
Avalanche.
Me and Aiden again. Me and Aiden. Oh my god.
I said wild. Okay,
Dude,
we're good. We're good.
I know you did, but holy shit!
What is
3
wrong with
weeks
you
in a
guys?
row.
3?
That's 3 weeks.
I'm buying a lottery ticket tomorrow.
There's no way listeners believe us that we.
Yeah, they
don't
plan it
talk about
before.
You have to- okay.
They plan it
No,
before.
we
They
genuinely
giggle. They
You-
FaceTime before and they giggle. They're like,
No, you have to watch
Oh
it.
my
If you're
God.
listening at this point right now, you have to go watch on YouTube to see our genuine reactions. My heart is pounding right now
True.
because I was totally anticipating all of us having the same team. So,
Spots it up. Sorry, boys.
but if you think it's fake, go watch on YouTube right now and watch our facial expressions.
Wow.
Fucking crazy,
3
bro.
Well,
weeks
I'll
in a
just
row.
because I gotta wrap this up. I got a little thing I gotta go do. So,
Alright.
I'll just go first real quick.
Yeah, go.
I said the Wild. They got for the time that we record until next time. They got Vegas tomorrow night, or Wednesday for you listeners. Then they got 2 in Anaheim. I mean, you got to win those games. And I love this team. I think this team is going to give whoever they play a run for their money, no less than 7 games. I love everything about this team. I love Zuccarello. I love Foligno.
Foligmanets.
Greenway. I love the decor snapping it around right now. Cam Talbot. They're all buzzing, and I love this team.
Yeah,
Kevin Fiala,
For sure.
creative team, and they're fun to watch for once. They're fun to watch, and I love this
They
team.
are.
And they're going to give a fucking team a run for their money. So, boys, I'm
I-
telling you, Minnesota Wild, wrap it up strong, finish the season strong, and you know what? Make a run. I want a Cinderella story from you boys.
So I will say the Avs, for me and AIDS, the Avs play San Jose once, LA twice, and then Vegas. Those first 3 should be dubs. Vegas will be a battle, of course. But those first 3 should be W's. They just got, like a game or 2 ago, some guys back that were out for a little while. I know, was it Rantanen was out for a bit? I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure like Donskoy and maybe Burakovsky was out for a bit. So some of their top 6 forwards were out.
Did you say the Tendy too? Grubauer, I think.
Yeah, Grubauer was for a bit. So they just got them back recently in this past week. I think they're going to, obviously clinch the playoff spot, but I think they're going to finish out the season strong here. Do we want to each pick a player aids and see who gets more points?
That's
So
what I was
that
gonna.
way
I was gonna
again,
propose
we'll go
that. I was
back to
gonna.
that. Just like we did with the Stars.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I picked them because I want them to win that division.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I picked them because I want them to come in first. I think they deserve it. I think the Golden Knights are the best team. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
They're
Besides
the
the
worst.
Islanders.
They're the worst team in their position right now.
Oh, okay.
They're the
never
worst
mind.
team.
Yeah.
They're the worst division leader.
Yeah.
And I think Colorado has earned that. 2 points back, 1 game
Yeah.
in hand.
Fucking right.
So yeah, so we're gonna go back to picking a player here.
yeah.
Okay.
I will say, going off the fact I want to see the Wild win the first round of the playoffs, I would rather have them play the Knights than the Avalanche, assuming
That's-
the Wild finished 3rd. So yes,
Yeah.
I
Fair enough.
agree with that. I would like to see the Avs win that
So who
division.
you boys going with?
So we're going with more points here. Whoever gets more
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
AIDS, you pick first.
Fuck. I caught me flat-footed because I wasn't ready for this again.
Sorry, go ahead.
I
don't know why I said go ahead, but
yeah, dude, shut
Pussy.
up. I'm gonna do. Oh, I was gonna do Sod, but it doesn't look like he's played a game in a while.
Oh my god, dude, pick a player.
should we say we're not allowed to do one of those 3 top liners?
I was
3 forwards on the first line.
I was gonna do Kadri.
Ooh.
I was literally going to.
Fuck off.
Okay. No, so you go Kadri. I'm gonna go
going
Burakovsky.
I almost went Burakovsky.
Yeah, those are the 2
Solid
going
pick,
around in my
solid
head.
pick.
We are
Ignoring
buzzing.
the
bro.
first
I would have gone
line.
Sam Gerard, but
We are
Ooh,
buzzing.
yeah. Okay. So
All right.
Burakovsky versus
Nice.
Nazem Kadri here.
yeah, then
Do you
the
got a
Wild-
prediction? You got a prediction of what they'll go? I think they go 4-0 this week.
I think they have a
At
lot of
least
fun.
3.
I think they have a lot of fun.
At least 3-0. Yeah. Or
They
3-1.
go undefeated and fun
But-
had.
That's
But all right, boys. What a fucking episode. I led the fire in this
Fucking
episode. A lot,
crazy,
of,
huh?
a lot of passion. Fuck you, Tom Wilson.
Facts.
Yeah.
Bag
of
Crunk ain't dead, though.
Crunk ain't dead. For everyone listening, we're gonna wrap this up right now. But our last message before we sign off is Crunk is not dead. So thank you very much. Everyone have a great weekend. I think it's gonna be a little gloomy weather-wise because the weather guys are back. Enjoy it though. Take time, rest up. You need a little bit of rain.
Clouds.
Clouds, baby.
Hey,
Cumulus clouds.
after the rain comes a rainbow, right?
And
Is that the saying?
after a rainbow comes a lottery ticket. I don't know. My brain's melted. This felt like the longest fucking episode of my life. So,
Your room is pitch black right now, too,
Yeah.
behind you.
I thought the lamp
Bro,
would
I'm
be
like
fine.
pink. I'm like pink. Like what the?
You're tripping
Oh,
out.
man.
But
Oh wait, that's
Anyways-
so much better.
fellas, talk to you later for some clubs.
I'm
Yeah.
down.
All right,
Play
cool.
us.
Yeah, we'll buzz later
Yeah.
on clubs.
So everyone,
now,
have a great
get in bed.
weekend. Also, just follow the Instagram, follow our stuff, comment on us, call us idiots. Doesn't
Mash the
matter.
subscribe button.
Like, comment,
gotta-
subscribe.
We also have an announcement coming up in the following weeks that's pretty big, and we really want
Yeah.
you guys. I think you guys are going to be excited about it. So yeah, just stay tuned, listen to it, and leave some reviews. Thanks everyone, and have a great weekend. Wear a mask, maybe get vaccinated. I don't know. Peace, everyone.